Okay, today we're going to talk about figuring out which users have downgraded their accounts. And this is because we want to target those users and figure out why they downgraded and what we need to do to get them to come back to a higher tier plan. So this is appropriate for SaaS businesses that track what plan a customer was on and what plan they were on previously. So let's jump right into the SQL. This is Hello Query that I'm looking at right here. This enables me to write SQL to my database. There are many tools available out there that let you do that. If you need help getting set up, you just send me a message and I will point you in the right direction. So Hello Query is AI assisted SQL, so you could start just by asking, but since we already have the SQL, we're going to go right to the SQL tab, and we're just going to copy the SQL that I have already created in the write-up. So copy that SQL, and we are going to paste it in here. And so this one is a little bit complicated, so let me show you how this works. We have a subscription changes, and then we have an old plan and a new plan, and we keep track of those. And this is actually for a real business that I use this query, and the old plan name was the highest tier plan, which was Pro, and the new plan name was Basic. So we are looking for customers who have changed from an old plan of Pro to a new plan of Basic. So let's go ahead and run this and see what we get. And one of the things I think you're going to find is it's 0. And that's because of this right here. So let's just do this. That's because we are doing some stuff with the date. Let's just change this to year instead of month. And let's run it again. And okay, so this gives us a lot more information because we're now doing it by year instead of by month. So we can see that, let's give this a name because I'm going to forget what this is, downgraded from Pro to Basic. Okay, that's kind of depressing that I had 375 customers downgrade. That seems like an area as a marketer I really need to target. So another thing is you try to understand these. This one is, again, this query is a little more complicated and your database structure might not be exactly the same. Remember, you can always just come in here and copy this and go into the chat. You can do it in ChatGPT too, but you're here. And if you are using Hello Query and you've actually hooked up your database, it can tell you specifically why a query works or does not work for your database. But let's just do, can you explain this query? And also the nice thing about that is we talked about the tables. We talked about grabbing the customer IDs, downgraded customers. Let's see. And this is just how all of those tables are joined to give you the data you need. So here's a great thing. So let's say you just did that and now you're like, okay, now I want their email addresses. Now I want the customer email addresses for those customers instead of account. And the AI assisted SQL will write you a new query. So let's run that, and you can run that right in line here. And now I have a list of email addresses of people that have downgraded. So I can easily just export that, send out an email. There's a lot of other smart marketing things you can do. You could try to cross-reference those people on LinkedIn, so you could send them a LinkedIn DM. And really the goal here, this is more of an informational query, less of it's going to necessarily lead to higher revenue immediately, but you do need to figure out if you have that many people downgrading, what is going on and why they're doing it. So hopefully this helped. Hit me up with any questions.